Christmas is done and dusted, and personally it's a bit of a relief in my opinion, and now it's time to focus on 2020. And I think I want to just go through a couple of mindset shifts and mindset hacks and what I feel you girls need to do before 2020 hits next week. Because it's not just about like a New Year's resolution, go hard, sweat, burn, cut out all the carbs, because that's not how we make sustainable change. Sustainable change also is made, a big part of it is mainly mentality, and that's why reflection is so important. So 5 things to do to make sticky change in 2020. The first thing is reflection. You just don't want to like dismiss 2019 and be like, fuck it, like I just didn't make the changes that I wanted to do. Reality is, you don't want to look back at 2019 and beat yourself up about that. You've got to get curious about this. All right, so why didn't you go to the gym as much as you wanted? What do you need to build on? And this is why asking good questions is so freaking important to build yourself up and improve yourself for 2020. So just be aware of how you feel looking back at this year, and if you are beating yourself up, why? Because reality is, beating yourself up is a losing battle. And like, when is enough enough? Like, when are you going to stop beating yourself up because you don't think you did all you need to? You just have to use it as an improvement tool and a lesson. And this goes on to a fixed and growth mindset as well, which I'll talk about, another time. But use it as an improvement tool and be aware of your headspace around that. This reflection tool kind of dives into my point number 2, is hack into your mindset around food and exercise. So, a lot of gals I see, they don't make things stick because they just go to extreme. Maybe you're really hesitant to start, macros or flexible dieting because you've had really bad past experiences with shake diets in the past. And maybe that now you're scared to make another step forward. Maybe you're using exercise as a punishment, right? I see this as a common thing. Maybe you're blowing out and then going to the gym and then going really hard on the treadmill until you literally exhaust yourself, and as a result you're kind of up and down with the gym. So when you do your reflection on 2019, also dive into that aspect of your life. What do you think about food? What do you think about exercise? Does it affect you in a positive way or a negative way, and why? Number 3 is, after you've kind of dove into that for 2019, look at 2020, right? So it's really easy to be past focused. And what I mean by past focus is, look at 2019 and constantly beat yourself up, and your focus is always in the past. And you can see how a lot of people can get stuck by this, right? Because they're like, man, like I didn't do this and I didn't do this. And like, shit, that's done. You're just wasting energy now, right? So I want you girls to think about, what do you want to achieve by the end of 2020? And who do you need to be to get there? All my gals in the Queen team a lot of them have already done their reflections in 2019 and 2020. And you can kind of see these holes that maybe they didn't achieve what they wanted to in 2019. And when they're doing their 2020 reflection, who do they need to be to get there? Maybe they need to be more resilient. Maybe they need to be a lot more aware of their self-talk. So I am asking you, who do you need to be to get to where you want to go in 2020? Is it, a little bit more disciplined, have more self-integrity, super powerful stuff. And you can see why it's not just reflection. This is literally creating who you need to be. And this is creating your headspace for the future. It is really important to ask yourself, are you focusing on the future, or are you beating yourself up from the past? And honestly, this is a really common thing. Don't use the past to beat yourself up. Use it as a lesson. Super important. Okay. Number 4 is ask good questions of yourself. Like, if you're feeling shit about something, or, maybe you had a blowout after Christmas, ask yourself why. Like, what were you feeling at that time? Were you feeling anxious, and why? Like, does labeling foods as good and bad still an issue for you? Like, having one chocolate, does that make you feel like you fucked it all up? And do you need to work on your relationship with food a shit ton more in 2020? Don't just dismiss it or try to ignore it. I think a lot of people really try to fight their feelings. And when they try to fight them or not feel them, you don't really dive into the why of everything. So every time you feel like, you've had a little bit of a mishap, or in my opinion, a learning curve, i.e. if you've had a blowout or didn't go to the gym or whatever, ask yourself why. All right, super important. Number 5 is get a good role model, and surround yourself by people who you want to be like, who are where you want to be, and have the life that you want. I think too many gals kind of compare themselves to Big Boobs Betty, or like, I don't know, I'm not all about it anymore. But like, reality is, don't listen to those who aren't where you want to be. Like, it's like hermit crab, right? Like, they only grow as big as their shell, and it's exactly the same as your environment, and you have total 100% control over that. You can put yourself in a good group, have a good role model, have a good coach to help propel yourself forward in 2020. All right, that's it. Short, sweet, spicy, loved it. But I hope you guys can see now why reflecting on the past year and planning for the next year to be the best you and make this change stick is just so super important. So please make sure you reflect on 2019, be aware of your headspace around that, and plan how do you want to show up for 2020 to freaking get there in a sustainable way. All right, remember my online course, Become a Fierce Flexible Dieter in 7 Steps. The cart opens early January. It's super close now. So if you're ready to, be supported by a super strong, amazing group of gals, make sure you get your name on the wait list. The link is in my bio. That's going to be killer. And any questions about coaching, macros, shopping shenanigans, anything like that, just hit me up. Like, I'm a talkative gal. I love to chat. So send me an email, slide into my DMs, whatever you prefer. And have a lovely Friday and have a killer 2020. I can't wait. All right, guys. See ya.